The Rap Roundtable.
There was a topic that I wanted to get into as far as Nas Escobar. You know, we see him outside. We see him putting in a lot of work. This is the most work Nas has put in since I want to say the first prime he had in the late 90s, early aughts. You know what I mean? As far as activity level, not skill. Because y'all don't be listening to y'all just be parsing and looking for shit to argue with. What I'm saying is his activity level is as high as it's been in 20 years, in my opinion.
Commercials.
Getting a lot of minutes on the court.
Interviews.
Lucy's.
You name
everywhere.
it. Tours. The Spider-Verse movie drops, Across the Spider-Verse. He's on there too.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Shout out to
Doing
Metro.
a feature with Toby Weegway, pardon me. His name is beating my ass. So the question I have for the Rap Roundtable is Nas going commercial at this juncture of his career? Sin, you want to go first, or should I pass it off and let it come back to you?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah. It's an interesting question because like it makes it sound as if Nas was never commercial to begin with. Like, what part of Nas isn't commercial really?
Touche.
You know what I mean?
Be careful, Sin.
Yeah,
You're gonna get us fired
well,
already.
Look, I know. Listen,
commercials
as
triggering.
a Nas fan, right? I know that there is definitely a part of him artistically, or maybe part of his personality that is kind of counter-commercial. But come on, man! Like the man did songs with Mary, Puff, Mariah, J-Lo, Chris Brown. Like the list goes on, bro. Like, and on top of that, like he used to do Sprite commercials. He was in ads for Carl Kanai, like infamously. You know what I mean? Then Willie Esco. You know what I mean? Because they kind of shared a name or whatever. And I know that like the thing that Nas fans love about Nas is that there's a lot of his material and a lot of his personality that feels underground. But he's not underground. He's never been underground, right? And so like, you know, he's part of him is kind of hermit-like, so he kind of like steers away from the limelight a little bit. But you know, he had that run where he was in the Hate Me Now video. You know, Eddie Murphy'd out with the red leather. You know what I mean? QB chain, huge QB pendant swinging. Had Beyonce, you know, in the You Owe Me video. Like, that man has made...
Why you had to mention that?
Hey, it happened, bro.
You could have just said he did You Owe Me with Genuine.
It happened.
And Timbo.
Had Beyonce dancing for him, bro. And You Owe Me.
That's crazy, bro.
Damn it, man.
So, man, there's nothing about Nas that has never not been commercial. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely been stretches where, like, he steered away from the commercial limelight, but he's always been open to it. You know what I mean? This is just another one of those resurgences that he's had in his career where he's like, yo, fuck it. I'm going to do Hennessy. I'm going to do these soundtracks. I'm going to, you know, be in these movies. I'm going to, you know, I'm going to do everything.
So for the sake of clarity, you're saying not only is Nas quote going commercial, he been commercial.
He's never not been commercial. I don't think.
That's interesting. Mace, talk to me.
I'm gonna have to agree with Sin here. Honestly, because I think there's like a difference, right? Commercial is, I just looked at the definition again right before Sin started. It says concerned with or engaged in commerce, and I think Nas has always been worried about his bottom line. You feel what I'm saying? So I think there has to be like a little bit of there's like the issue would be if he went pop. Correct? You know what I mean? You don't want your artist to his art to be compromised. You don't want him to be shooting for a certain sound. You don't want him to be, dressing up in shiny suits. You know what I mean? Like, it's a difference between going pop and going commercial. I think just like Sin just stated here, just like Job has kind of been trying to tell y'all for a minute, Nas was always a major record label artist. He was never a Mortal Technique, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was never a thing. Now, I think he's in the...
I want problems always.
Like, they really make it sound like he was on Raucous Lyricist Lounge Volume 1. You know what I mean? Like,
honestly, on some words shit. And it's like, I think the issue is that Nas has always been commercial, but maybe not the most popular commercial artist. So he ain't never been a Nelly or MC Hammer or one of them type of dudes.
Flow
So
rider.
people are like, nah, Nas ain't commercial. No, he absolutely is commercial, and there's nothing wrong with that because, like, at the same time, us as fans, we get hyped when we see Mass Appeal doing well. We get hyped when we see him on international tours, you know what I mean, being swarmed by fans. So, yes, he's commercial. It's never been a debate, you know what I mean? And I don't, like, Sin, you right, Job, you right. You know what I mean? He's not underground, guys.
Danny, the balance, the chef, what's happening? I don't know.
Yo, commercial is just a hard word for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, there we go.
It just doesn't sound right.
You know what it is? It's because you have artists that their career is commercial. You know what I'm saying? If I make what would be considered underground music for the majority of my career, and every once in a while I pop out with something that the fans can enjoy on a larger scale, it just feels weird to hear me as a commercial artist from that. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, I heard Nelly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think of Nelly, I think of commercial artists. I don't really think of Nas as commercial. I've actually watched Nas on TV deny commercials. You know what I'm saying? Remember the Coors Light back in the days, and he just wound up banging the phone on these niggas. Like,
Right.
just Nas has disassociated himself with so much shit in the past, and I think that's what makes this all the more beautiful, man. I think if there's anyone out there who needs to, not even needs to, but more like venture out and open the doors and spread their wings and fly, I think it is Nas, bro. Nas has been so true to the depiction of the culture, you know what I'm saying? Staying 10 toes down, not letting the man get at you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's been like the icon and the face of like maybe the most underground, overground artist we've had, you know what I'm saying?
He
The
not
person who's
most underground commercial nigga. Just say it.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Not mainstream,
Nah, but
mainstream,
mainstream.
most
Underground
mainstream. Commercial
okay.
just is
I
killing
like
me.
it.
All right, so I'm gonna throw this out there. Do we want to draw a line between certain terms, like pop, like May said, versus commercial versus mainstream?
Yes.
I think mainstream is better. Like for instance, you make these great beats, you know what I'm saying? And would you say you're in the boom bap era with your shit? You say your shit is more boom bappy?
Yeah.
All
okay,
right.
that-
Now if you make a trap joint, so now you a trap artist because you made one
Nah,
trap.
not
10,
off of
10
one.
10 trap joints as opposed to 100 boom baps.
I'll put it to you like
You
this.
get what I'm saying?
I'll put it to you like this. I think Pusha T is a good way to describe it. Pusha T is commercial, but he's not mainstream.
Okay.
I think that's
agree
the
with
best
that.
way to look at this dynamic.
He gets a lot of commercial looks.
So I guess, you know what, y'all kind of said it, and I've been telling y'all for at least a year and a half now. Nas is not underground. Like, he's never been that. Stop lying to yourselves. He's a commercial act. He's been popular. He's been platinum. He's been platter a bunch of
renowned.
times.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
A lot of fans, and honestly, if the streaming numbers weren't so rigged, a lot of his record sales for recent projects, especially the KD series, might look a little different.
Yeah.
Because based on what Mace broke down about the streaming numbers and what the equivalencies are, I'm pretty sure 1 million people have these Nas albums.
Tapped
But based on the stream numbers, the shit gets fudged, right? So I guess I'll tweak the question then when I say commercial. With all of this, what he's doing, being an independent label, and make these appearances he's making, and where he's making it, and who he's making them with, is Nas on the verge of what they accuse Jay-Z for being a sellout for, as far as who he's standing next to and who he's working with? I'm just asking the question.
Listen.
Relax. It's
Listen.
just the question.
Great question.
Because
That
as
question is loaded as fuck.
because
man. That
I'm
shit
just
is
saying,
a baked potato with bacon and
Hey, I'm
sour
just saying.
cream.
I'm just saying.
And fucking
I'm just saying.
chives, everything.
That's
As
what they
you-
asked for at the start.
as you venture off and you start to make more and more appearances, late night TV appearances, random features. Now you did joints of 21. You all soundtracks. Your face, you're a clickable item, magazine covers. All of these things that other guy does, the local celeb, he gets called a sellout.
If the local celebrity rapper gave a verse to Lil Nas X, we wouldn't hear the end of it.
We wouldn't. Not to say
is a
that
fact.
Toby Wigwe is Lil Nas X, but all I'm saying is he walking the path of what other people get called a sellout for?
I think the notion and the feeling.
I'm not saying that he is.
I think the notion and the feeling amongst fans
Right.
is that Nas did it the right way. Whatever the right way
Wow,
is, Nas did
bro.
it the right way.
That's crazy.
You know
bro.
what? And I had that thought about. I heard DJ Drama, but what is the right way? One of the mixtapes he was asking that shit, and that's all I thought of in my head just now. Like, what
Right.
do you mean by that? You know what I'm saying?
Well, what I mean that
All right, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
whatever the right way is, like that's what Nas did. Like I mean, I guess the notion is, you know, he didn't overtly seek, beyond,
Right,
you know, the
right.
Steve Stout era. He didn't overtly seek a radio single. He didn't overtly, you know, make club bangers. Like, he didn't overtly, you know,
Organic.
like you had albums like I Am and Stillmatic, where you had things like You're the Man, Poison, New York State of Mind 2, Ghetto Prisoners. Like, he still had his hits, but he wasn't overtly, it didn't feel like he was overtly seeking that mainstream pop spotlight.
Fair play.
You know what I mean?
Fair play. Y'all agree with that sentiment?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't think he is. Partially. Cook.